Hi guys, this is your video on your step up to third grade math. The work that I assigned was your videos on Pearson, which kind of introduced the topics. And then I was asking for you guys to complete the simple, it's just one page that's like split into two. So you were supposed to complete these. If for some reason any of this math was challenging for you or you need additional help, there's two things that you can do. In the sense of it being a challenge and kind of hard for you guys, reach out to me, join my Zoom meetings. I will go over it with you one-on-one. If you need additional resources, meaning more practice, if you guys use your workbooks that I had given you guys back in March, April, whenever it was, if you go towards the back of the workbook, you're going to see step up to third grade assignments that connect with the work that you guys did this week. Keep in mind that these are not second grade standards, meaning that I'm basically introducing what you're going to be learning in third grade, which comes down to multiplication and division. So the biggest thing I need you guys to realize is this is going to be a challenge for you guys because this is all new for you. And I'm going to show you how repeated addition turns into multiplication. But the best thing that you guys can do at home is get your facts memorized. You guys should know your facts going into third grade because it just makes things so much easier. You can have flashcards made. If you guys go to the dollar section of Target sometimes, I like the Dollar Tree. They actually have pre-made flashcards of your facts. So you guys, the faster you guys know all of those facts, third grade is going to be so much easier for you. So the whole point of your lessons right now in second grade is to see how what you know with repeated addition connects into multiplication. So it's kind of understanding how multiplication works. Going into third grade, you need to understand that and you should really know your facts. So once again, spend the summer going over knowing your facts. It will be the best thing that you guys can do, okay? I'm sure I can find some websites too to kind of give you guys additional support. Just reach out to me if you guys need any of that, okay? So what I'm going to do is before I actually go over your answers from this workbook pages, oh my gosh, move it or lose it. Before I go over your answers, I kind of just want to connect again with how repeated addition is connected to multiplication. Many of you guys have joined my Zoom meetings and I kind of was like challenging you during, I think it was topic 16 or 12, maybe it's actually topic 4. The last math section that we did that we worked with repeated addition, I was connecting and challenging with a lot of you guys of turning those addition sentences into multiplication sentences, and you rocked it. You guys did so good. So if you were unable to join my Zoom meetings and you did not get that extra support, we still have a couple days left, a couple weeks left. Join me for Zoom. I will connect with you. I'll make sure that you guys understand it because I definitely want to see you guys flourish in third grade, okay? So before I get into the answers, I just kind of want to go over touching base of how they connect. Once again, this is your Friday review video. So if you have not watched the videos and worked on your workbook pages for, not workbook pages, I'm sorry, this packet right here for step up to third 1, 2, and 3, you need to stop my video, go complete your work, and then come back to it, okay? All right, so let's get into repeated addition connecting into multiplication. So if I'm working with repeated addition means you're adding the same numbers over and over and over again. So if you guys look at my sentence, I'm adding the number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. If you guys can total that up, I'm not going to get the sum yet, but just kind of think about your answer for that, okay? So when you are repeating addition with, when you are adding the same number over and over again, you can actually turn it into a multiplication problem to make your math faster. The way that you do that is I kind of have it broken down for you. These are where you're going to fill in the missing numbers, okay? The first number is how many groups there are, okay? So I have 1 group, 2 group, 3 groups, 4. I have 4 groups, and then this multiplication sign is read as the word of. I have 4 groups of how many? 3. There are 3 in each group. So I have group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Can you guys see that? So I have 4 groups of 3. And your sum is going to be your same as your answer for the multiplication. So I know that 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is actually 12. So that means I can change this into a multiplication sentence and say 4 groups of 3 equals 12, or 4 times 3 equals 12. You can always change a repeated addition sentence into multiplication, okay? That's definitely going to come in handy when you guys are working with your multiplication, because if you ever need to and you don't know the answer right away, you can just break them up into groups and add them up. So four groups of 3. So I have this group is 3, 3, 3, 3. So I am adding 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 4 groups of 3, or 4 times 3 equals 12. Okay. Yeah, so that's really kind of what I wanted to go over with you guys. If you guys want a little bit of a challenge or maybe some dojo points, check in with me sometime during my Zoom, and maybe I'll give you guys a math problem. If you get it right, I'll give you some dojo points, okay? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's go over some of your math that you've been doing, okay? I am on currently this workbook page of Step Up Lesson 1, okay? So you should have watched the video. The video was talking about all of these groups with a certain amount of number in it, and then you guys are basically talking about you can make them into a story. So if I zoom in right here, it looks like we have, I think, bowls with onions. Okay, yeah, right there. Baskets of onions, okay? So I see 1, 2, 3 baskets. I see 3 groups, okay? What's holding it is my group. So I see 3 groups of 2 onions. So this group has this group has 2 onions, this group has 2 onions, and this one has 2 onions. So let's turn that into a repeated addition sentence just for some quick support, okay? So remember, I saw 3 groups of 2. I had 1 group of 2 onions, a second group of 2 onions, and a third group of 2 onions. My repeated addition sentence was 2 plus 2 plus 2, and we know that that equals 6. Let's turn it into a multiplication problem. How many groups do you have? I have 1, 2, 3 groups. 3 groups of the number 2, and then your totals are going to be the same. So equals 6. The reason why it's the same, I'm not taking out onions, I'm not adding onions, I'm working with the same amount. No matter which way you look at it, I have 6 onions, okay? So this is just a little connection of how repeated addition is multiplication. So let's go back to what they had for stories. They said there are 3 baskets. There are 2 onions in each basket. How many onions are there? The answer is 3 times 2, and my answer is 6. Okay? So I even have 6 right here. Okay? Number 2, these questions that you guys had to write the stories are all going to be different. Obviously, we don't have the same brain. We're not going to write the same answers. So I'm just going to make up a story, and then you can tell me if you have something similar. As long as your numbers in your stories are matching these multiplication sentences. So you could see right here, they have the number 3, the number 3, the number 2, the number 2, and everyone's product or everyone's total should be 6. So it looks like I have a basket of 5 oranges, maybe. So here's my story. I have 2 baskets of oranges. There are 5 baskets in there are 5 oranges in each basket. How many oranges do I have in all? Okay, once again, I have 2 baskets. Here's my number 2. There are 5 oranges in each basket. How many do I have in all? Well, if I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, my total or my product would be 10. As long as you got this answer 10, you are good. And if you came up with a story that had the numbers 2 and the number 5 in it, you are good to go. Okay? Do you understand? How does drawing a picture help you write a multiplication story? Me personally, I'm a visual learner. I need to see something on my paper. So a lot of you guys remember during second grade, I would ask for you guys to prove your answer in math. We talked about many ways that you guys can solve a math problem, and my way might have been on the number line, the hundreds chart, but I also maybe suggested that you guys tallied or you would draw a picture. The reason why that helps is if you physically see it on your paper, it helps your brain realize, okay, I can actually count those parts and I can get my total. Well, that's where this answer comes in right here. Here's a sample answer. They said a picture helps me see the number of groups and the number in each group. So in this case, this picture really helped me as a learner because I visualized, I saw 2 baskets or 2 nets, and there were 5 in each, and I could actually check my work by counting the 5 oranges. So drawing a picture helps by you seeing the parts or the groups and the items in it, okay? Question number 3, draw a picture and write a story. So obviously there's not a picture in here, and the stories are not available, so I'm gonna give my version of it, okay? So we are working with 5 times 3, or Mrs. Witcher likes to say it as 5 groups of 3. What do I mean by 5 groups of 3? That first number, put on your finger, 5. So 5 groups. I have a group, a group, a group, a group, and each group has 3. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 5 groups of 3 is 5 times 3. If you don't know your multiplication, you're going to add it. You're going to add the number 3 5 times. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. If you don't know, I was adding 3s, okay? So 5 times 3 is 15, okay? And then you guys can create a story. As long as your story had the numbers 5 and the number 3 in it, and you somehow were able to get the total of 15, you were good. Maybe I wanted to draw 5 baskets of 3 strawberries. So I would say, I have 5 baskets. Each basket has 3 strawberries in it. How many strawberries are there in all? 5 times 3, and then my answer would be 15 strawberries, okay? My multiplication sentence for number 4 is 2 times 9. Now, what do I mean by 2 times 9? 2 groups of 9. Once again, 2 times 9 is 2 groups of 9. So put up 2 fingers, and each group has 9. So 9 plus 9. And if you know what 9 plus 9 is, it should be 18. So remember, that first number, as long as it's, you know, something that you guys can do on your hands, eventually you're going to want to get these memorized. I always think of it as how many groups of a number, okay? So 2 groups. Mrs. Witcher made 2 fingers to represent a group. This group has 9, and this group has 9. If I add them together, I get 18, okay? For a story, I might say there are 2 pencil boxes in the classroom. Each pencil box has 9 crayons. How many crayons do I have in all? Well, if I added all of them up, I drew a picture of a box of crayon, a pencil box right here, a pencil box here, and each of the pencils I would draw 9 crayons. If I added them together, 9 plus 9 equals 18, okay? If you guys want to check your stories with me, you could totally do that during Zoom too. I have no problem doing that, okay? Use a picture to write a multiplication sentence, okay? Well, before I get to that, it looks like I have 2 groups. Here's one group of bugs, and here's another group of bugs. I have 2 groups of, how many are in each group? There's 4. So 4 plus 4, or 2 groups of 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. So 2 groups of 4 equals 8. So 2 groups of 4 equals 8. If you guys have a section that you can write notes, I would suggest writing this down. Let me write it down first, hold on. Okay, so if you guys have somewhere that you could write this down, I promise you this really does help, okay? So we are going to create a multiplication sentence without the numbers, okay? So this first line where you be putting the missing number here, I have the word groups that represent it. Groups, and then the multiplication sign is read as the word of. Groups of how many equals the total. So in this case, there are 1 group, 2 groups. So you can tell me there are 2 groups of how many? Well, there's 4. So you would tell me that there are 2 groups. Sorry, it's hard to write upside down. 2 groups of 4. And then if you add them up by counting them, you would get your total of 8. There are 2 groups of 4 equals 8, okay? I promise you guys, if you guys kind of write this down, it definitely helps with writing multiplication sentences, because all you have to do is memorize the saying or memorize the lines, and then you'll be able to create a multiplication sentence every time with a repeated addition sentence or with a picture. Okay, let's go back to sharing my screen. That was lesson 1. Hopefully that was okay for you guys. I hope you guys did okay. Remember, if you need help, please let me know, or work on that extra work in your workbook pages, okay? Let's go ahead and jump into your Wednesday homework, which was -2. Okay. Might even start here and see what we are working on. Okay, so, oh, cool. So for this one, you guys had to use counters. So they have your groups for you. If you can see, these boxes represent groups. And then it sounds like you're going to have to put the missing parts in, okay? So for example, number 1 shows 4 toys shared by 2 friends. So a way that you can kind of think about that too is if you have 2 friends, you want to give them equal amounts. So you'd say 1 for you, 1 for me. 1 for you, 1 for me, and you would do that until you've gotten rid of all the toys. So in this case, they have 4 toys in all, and there's 2 groups of 2. The way that they did that was with 4 toys, they divided them up. 1 toy here, 1 toy here. 1 toy here, 1 toy here. They got rid of their 4 toys, and each child received 2 toys. So there are 2 groups of 2. If you made that into a multiplication sentence, 2 groups of 2 would represent 2 times 2 with a total of 4. Okay? 10 markers shared by 10 markers shared by 2 friends. So I would do, with 10, I would separate them into groups. So let's see if I can do it here. Oopsies, what happened? Sorry, let's do lesson. Sorry about that, guys, hold on. Oh, whoops, okay. All right, here we go. All right, this is actually kind of cool, I never knew about this. Okay, so with their 10 markers, they divided it. 1 for you, 1 for me. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They divided the 10 markers into 2 groups. So in total, there's 10 in all, and there's 1 group, 2 groups, and 2 groups of 5. Your multiplication, 2 groups of 5 is 2 times 5 and a total of 10, okay? Number 3 says that there's 18 balloons shared by 2 friends. There are 18 in all. So what they did was they did 1 for you, 1 for me, until they got rid of all 18. And what they ended up doing was they had 9 in one group, 9 in the other. So there are 2 groups of 9, 2 groups of 9, and then your multiplication sentence would be 2 times 9 equals 18, okay? Do you understand? How can you put the 10 markers from exercise 2 into 5 equal groups? Okay, well, let's do this one together. So there are 10 markers, okay, and then they said 5 groups. So let's make 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So I've got my number 10, and I'm gonna divide 10 markers into 5 groups, okay? So the way that I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna count by putting equal amounts in each group, okay? So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have divided these up equally, and each group gets 2. So I have 5, is that 5? 5 groups of 2 equals 10. That is a terrible 2. It's so hard to write upside down, I'm sorry. Okay, so I have 5 groups of 2 equals 10, okay? You can always change up the different groups to make a new multiplication sentence, but I'm gonna show you when it won't work if it doesn't evenly go into something, and I think we get into that for the last question on this page, so let me get into that, hold on. Let's go into question, yeah, so that kind of shows at number 5, so I'll help you with that. So let's go ahead and look at question number 4. It says circle each group, write the numbers, and then use the counters. So the first thing you need to do is figure out how many there are, okay? There's 24 colored pencils shared by 3 friends. So if I counted all these, I would count that there's 24 of them, and then I want to share them between friends. If this was too hard for you, if I were you, I would have kind of just done what I did on my whiteboard, and I would have started with the number 24, and I would have made 3 groups. With my 3 groups, I'm going to count out 24. And this is something that is a little bit more helpful until you guys have your facts memorized. And then what you could do is just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then all the way until you get to 24. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so I counted 24, and when I counted those up and divided them, I have 6, 7, 8. There's 8 in this group, 8 in this group, and 8 in this group. Okay, and if I add 8 plus 8 plus 8, my answer is actually 24. And if I wanted to make this into a multiplication sentence, how many groups do you have? You have 3 groups of 8, and my total is 24. Okay, remember, if you don't know, you can always draw a picture, because we're learning that pictures are a good way to, one, prove your answer, and then 2, more than anything, to kind of actually see why that's the answer. If you're like me, I like to see it drawn out because I'm a visual learner. Let's go back to that answer. I'm sorry I keep going back and forth. I just want to make sure you guys are understanding this. So in this case, I did the math on my whiteboard, and then I'm going to count out 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's one group, a second group of 3. There is 24 in all, and there's 3 groups of 8, and your multiplication sentence would be 3 times 8 equals 24. Okay. All right. So your next question, this was actually where you guys probably had to try a few things. The number that they gave you was a number 12. It says the art teacher has 12 glue sticks. Find 5 different ways to show equal groups of glue sticks. Okay, let me do it this way. I have the number 12, and I'm going to break this 12 up. Let's do 12 into 2 groups. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I have 12, and 2 groups of 6 equals 12. So that could have been one of your answers. 2 groups of 6, okay? Let's try 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, I now have 3 groups of 1, 2, 3, 4. But guess what? No matter what, my answer is always 12 because I'm still working with the same product, the same answer. Okay? Now let's do 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So I got to break it into 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Stop there. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3, and there's a total of 12. Okay? Now here's what I want to show you. If for some reason that you cannot break them up evenly into a group, then it will not work. Here's what I mean. Let's try the number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have 12 items to hand out to 5 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you look here, not every friend gets the same amount. This friend gets 3, this friend gets 3, these get 2. So in this case, I cannot do this as a math problem. I can't say 2 groups of 3 and 3 groups of 2. It doesn't work that way. So I cannot use 5 times 3. It's not going to work. So if it does not work and put the numbers in equally, then that is not a math problem that you can do. So in this case, I can't do the number 5, but I can go on to number 6 and see if that would work. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 6 groups of 1, 2, and my answer is still 12. Okay, this one works. I was able to give each friend equal parts. Okay, so going back to that math problem, okay, they kind of did what I did. So they had 4 groups of 3. So there's 4 groups and each group had 3. So 4 times 3 would work. 3 groups of 4. So there's 3 groups with 4 inside. So 3 times 4 is also 12. They made 6 groups of 2. Within that 6 groups of 2, that also equaled 12. They had 2 groups of 6. And in this one, they actually had 12 groups where each of them just had 1. So that'd be like 12 times 1 equals 12. Okay? So that one was kind of a little bit of a challenging one. I could have also made 1 group and put all 12 in 1 group. Okay, so let's go to the next page. I I hope you guys are kind of excited for this because really multiplication is fun. Once you guys understand it and you get it memorized, multiplication is a lot of fun, I promise you. Okay, so this page, which was lesson 3, I'm going to stop you. Okay, what I need you guys to remember that we learned in 2nd grade. How am I doing on time? Okay. In 2nd grade, we learned about fact families and that the opposite of addition is subtraction. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. Okay, well, this is going to happen. Okay, let me show you. So if I do the math sentence of 2 plus 3 equals 5, I have 3 numbers in my fact family. I have the number 2, the number 3, and the number 5. I can even switch this around and say 3 plus 2 equals 5. With this addition, because I know that the opposite of addition is subtraction, I can turn this into a subtraction problem. Remember, in subtraction, you always start with the biggest number. So I'm going to use the numbers 5, 3, and 2, and I have to start with the biggest number, which is 5. So 5 minus 3 equals 2. Or you could tell me 5 minus 2 equals 3. It doesn't matter, as long as you're using the same numbers. So here, I use the number 5. See? I use the number 3, and I use the number 2. So what I did was I basically just took the same numbers and I rearranged it. Guess what? You guys can actually do the same thing with multiplication because the opposite of multiplication is actually division. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. So how about 2 times 3, or 2 groups of 3 equals 6. Okay, 2 times 3 equals 6, or 2 groups of 3. So I could draw 2 groups and put 3 in each group, equals 6. Division is very similar, like you would be doing the subtraction problem, in the sense that in division, you always have to start with the biggest number. The biggest number is 6. I'm going to use the number 6 first, but I also need to use the numbers 2 and the numbers 3. 6 divided by, how about 3? And what number's left? I use 6, I use 3, the last number is 2. So 6 divided by 3 is actually 2. Or you could tell me 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Fact families, you get to actually reuse the same number. So just so you know, if you understand multiplication, you actually already understand division. It's just the way that you kind of reword it, okay? This is gonna come in handy, especially for your lesson 3 today. So let's kind of check it out. Okay. In this video, I believe you guys had to look at groups and then they made it into a story. Okay, so for the first one, we see 4 baskets. Ooh, and this is what's your favorite fruit, okay? So I have a basket here, and a basket, and each basket has, looks like a banana, an apple, a pear, an orange, and some grapes. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of fruit. So one group of 5, another group of 5, a third group of 5, and a fourth group of 5. Guess what? You can turn this into a repeated addition. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20. Or there are 4 groups of 5. So 4 times 5 equals 20. Since you know that fact, 4 times 5 equals 20, if you look right here, they use the number 20, they use the number 4. The only number that's missing is 5, okay? That's what I'm saying, is as long as you guys understand that, you guys are going to be able to get through this pretty fast. Now, here's what they mean. They mean that they want you to take 20 pieces of something, in this case, 20 pieces of fruit, and they want you to divide it into 4. So they took 20 pieces of fruit and they divided into baskets. Basket 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here would be my story. I have 20 pieces of fruit. I have 4 baskets. How many pieces of fruit are in each basket? Well, the answer would be 5. Okay, so I took 20 and then I broke them up. I divided them into 4. And actually, what we just did in the last video of taking a number and then remember how I put tallies in each, that was actually division. I was dividing up stuff. So it's, like I said, it's going to all connect to you guys. Just kind of give it some time, okay? This next one, I have 2 bananas, 2 bananas, 2, 2, and 2. So my addition sentence could be 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 5 groups of 2 equals 10. Okay, they took 10 bananas and they divided them into 5. Okay, so I could say I have 10 bananas. I am going to give these bananas to 5 friends. How many bananas does each friend get? Well, each friend, this friend would get 2, this one would get 2, 2 and 2 and 2, and so on. So as long as your sentence, your story, includes the number 10, includes the number 5, and if I solve it, I get the answer 2, then your answer is correct. The next question says, write a story that tells how 16 fish can be equally divided into bowls. Well, guess what? You get to choose how many bowls you want. So in this case, they use the number 2, so I will do it. They said, I have 16 fish. They are in 2 fish bowls. There are 8 fish bowls. Sorry, there are 8 fish in each bowl, okay? Another one you could have done was divide it up evenly. So I believe the answer, the number I'm working with is 16. So I have 16 fish. There are 4 bowls. Okay, let's divide them up. This bowl gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Guess what? I got to my number. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. 4 groups of 1, 2, 3, 4. My answer is 16. Well, let's turn this into a division sign. I had 16 fish. I divided them into 4 bowls. How many fish are in each bowl? There are 4 fish in each bowl. Okay? All I did right there was divide up the fish. Okay? That's where the word division comes from. You're dividing. It's division. Let's see. Number 3, guess what? There was no picture there. So I hope that you guys drew a picture, or you guys could have done something as simple as draw your groups. Circles and squares are easy. And then you could do tally marks, okay? And then just put it into a story. So it says draw a picture, write a division story. So they have the division story of 8 divided by 4. So let me stop sharing my screen and let me show you. Okay? Here's how I would do it. 8 divided by 4. The number that I'm working with is 8. Here's the number that I am working with, okay? I have 8 pickles, okay? You guys know I like pickles, right? I have 8 pickles. I'm going to divide these pickles into 4 plates. I have 1 plate, 2 plates, 3 plates, and 4. Oh my gosh, my pictures are so bad. Sorry. So here are my 4 plates, and I'm going to divide 8 pickles. 1 pickle here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I've divided 8 of my pickles up into 4 plates. How many are on each plate? There are 2 on each plate, or there are 4 groups of 2 pickles, and my total is 8. Okay? So what happened was I divided them up. Literally, your picture does not have to be full on. I mean, if you want to be artistic and do it, they're totally welcome to. But if you want to do it fast and quick, especially when it comes to proving your answers, this is a great way to do it. Don't get too crazy with your pictures. Just make it really easy with some tally marks, okay? So remember, my story was I have 8 pickles and 4 plates. How many pickles are on each plate? The answer was 2. Last question. Look at the story that you wrote above and write what you found, okay? So let's take a look at mine. Remember, we found that there are 8 in all, and there are 4 groups of 2. There's 8 in all, and there's 4 groups of 2. Remember, we kind of actually jumped ahead and wrote the multiplication sentence. So I have 4 groups of 2. And how many do I have in all? We said that we had 8, okay? I'm going to learn how to write upside down this summer, I promise. So I have 4 groups of 2 equals 8. Let's see what they have. They said 4 number of equal groups. There's 4 number of equal groups, 4 groups of 2. Okay, that's pretty much what it means. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Maybe on maybe on Google Classroom next week, I'll give some extra points for, maybe I'll write an addition sentence, and if you could turn it into a multiplication sentence, I will give you some Dojo points. I'll figure something out. I want to make sure you do that. Jump on and see me for Zoom. I'll give you one math problem, literally just jump on quick, give me an answer to my math problem. You earn Dojo points, and that's it. And then you can say hi to me because I missed you guys. That's everything for your math. I hope it wasn't too challenging. I feel like once you guys get into this, you're going to do awesome. Let's get this understanding down, and then let's get into memorization. We've got to memorize that, okay? We are literally almost done with our school year. We have one more full week of school, and then we have 3 days after that. Please make sure that you guys are getting your letters done to your friends. I want to give them to them. Next week on Thursday, you and your if you can come, that'd be awesome, but your parents are going to be meeting me at school to pick up some things that you guys had in your classroom. If they don't know about that, please have them check my Dojo messages that I sent out. But I want to see you guys, to say goodbye to you, say hi, check in with you, and I actually have a little gift for you, and then a gift for your parents, just to let you guys know how much you mean to me, and just a little end of the year goodbye gift, okay? I love you all. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Remember, if you need help with math, let me know. But other than that, toodaloo. Have a good day.